Hello everybody. Welcome back to another session on Python programming. We are discussing concept of formatting. And as I promised, we are going to discuss 4 to 5 different ways of formatting the data. Yesterday, we started off with interpolation operator, which is, I told you, which is very similar to sprintf in C language. And we had explored around 100 lines example and another few more instructions we had to see as to how interpolation operator can be used. Especially, we had to focus on all the conversion specifiers which are available. Yesterday, we looked at %s, %d, how multiple parameters can be passed using a tuple, all those things we had seen. So let's continue with our discussion of exploring how to work with the interpolation operator. The reason for discussing this is this kind of formatting is available with us since Python 1.0, the earliest version of Python. So if you look at the older code, you'll always find this interpolation operators being used. And a lot of time, those people who do not explore this, they keep on wondering how come mod operator is used with character type or string type of data, where it is not mod, it is interpolation operator. So let's continue with our discussion that where we left yesterday. So we left yesterday somewhere over here.
So around 940 pages.
Pardon?
940, 113.
Here we had to start. Actually, this was the last thing that we had seen. Okay, so if I have a dictionary called as X dictionary in which I have S name and that's a key, roll number is a key, values are Sandesh and 13. So I can just say format %dict. So when I pass this interpolation operator dict, the format string over here, where is the format string? Let's look at it. The format string contains S name as one of the mapping key, roll numbers and mapping key. So in this dictionary, wherever you have S name, in this format string, wherever we have S name, Sandesh will get substituted. Wherever there is a roll, there is a roll number ka value 13 will get substituted. So let us directly jump onto this line to see the behavior. So we are at line number 75. I'll remove the breakpoint. I'll jump to the next breakpoint. Here we are. And we display the data now. So when we display the data, it says Sandesh roll number. And what else does it go on to display? Let's see. Sandesh roll number is 13 and Sandesh stood first in the class. So that message has correctly got displayed. So that means this format string was a variable that we had created over here. S name's roll number is so-and-so and S name stood first in the class. So this is the statement line 85. That's the formatted string. Its value has got substituted. Now let's do something more complex. We have a list of dictionaries. I have a list of dictionary in which we have one where I have record of Monica, other Preeti, and third is Vedant. Now I have a format string saying roll number %d and name. Now this name is a mapping key for this dictionary. Roll number is a mapping key. This D stands for conversion specifier. That means wherever the value of roll number is taken, there it should get displayed in decimal format. Wherever the value of name is taken, so value of name either can be Monica, Preeti, or Vedant, that will be taken as string. So we have created a format string. Now, once we have created this format string, so the format string will act more like a template that will remain fixed over here. What will change is a record. Because when I say for a record in records, first I'll get Monica's record, then I'll get Preeti's record, then I'll get Vedant's record. So every time, excuse me. Just give me a second. Here we go. So for every time, as we iterate through this iterable, list is iterable. It's a list of dictionaries. So first I'll have record of Monica, then Preeti, and then Vedant. One after another, we'll cycle through all these records. So as we cycle through the records, the values will correctly get displayed. Let's see, how does it display? Here we go. So first, it will start greeting. So roll number 13, Monica. Roll number 15, Preeti. And roll number 16, Vedanta. All the three records have now been iterated over. Now, here I have my dictionary. APT stands for appropriate for that situation. Slides means cut into pieces. So I say the first word's meaning, percent APT. Now, when I say APT, it'll give appropriate for situation. So that's a key. The second word's meaning, slice. So slice is a key. The value is cut into pieces. And here I say interpolation operator, mydict. When I say mydict, it will correctly get substituted. So when you use this mapping situation, we should always have a dictionary. So when you use this parameter over here, and which act as the value to be substituted. So in that case, we should, on the right hand side, we should always have a dictionary as a parameter, not a tuple or a list. Here we go. So it says first word's meaning appropriate for that situation, second word's meaning cut into pieces. Now it could also so happen that we have used dictionary and here we are using only one APT. That means only one key from the dictionary. It is not necessary that if I take a dictionary, all the keys should be a part of my format string, not necessary. I can just say first word's meaning %s. Okay, %s is the format specifier or conversion specifier as we can call it as. APT over here is a mapping key and that will be mapped to the key in the dictionary. So whichever key found matching, its value will get substituted over there. So it says first was meaning appropriate for that situation. That result has got displayed on the output screen. I have num as 99 and I say what's meaning APT and then I say %d over here. Now when I use this %d, so there are two parameters, there are two conversion specifier. One is %s, other is %d. Dictionary is one and the second one is num now. So from the dictionary, what it should take is the APT and from num, what it should take is %d. Let's see what happens when I do this. So when we are trying to carry out this operation, okay, let's see what is happening. So I'm trying to run, it says format requires mapping. That means when I'm trying to do a combination where once a mapping key is found, and then we are trying to have a format specifier, which we are expecting it should take the next parameter, it is not working right for us. But then if I change the order, I say num is equal to %d and word is equal to APT. Okay, if I change the order, even if I change the order, that's not working. So the point is, if I'm using dictionary, it will not be of any use if I include that dictionary in a tuple for multiple substitution. So I'll have to go ahead with the key and its value should get substituted. So I'll have to, once mapping has been done, that means for all the parameters, I should do mapping. What does it say? Cannot mix the keyword and positional argument. So mydict, that is this APT, is a keyword argument and num is positional argument. So if you're under impression the second argument ke liye num ka value should get substituted, that's not going to happen because the rule in Python says cannot mix keyword and positional parameter. So mydict is a keyword parameter and num is a positional parameter. You cannot have them in any combination. So both the combinations have really failed. So this is something which is very important. Either I can pass arguments in a tuple, multiple parameters in a tuple. It could be 2, 3, 4, but then there should not be a dictionary. But if I'm going to use a dictionary and I want the value within the dictionary to be substituted. So if I'm going to use positional parameter, if I'm going to use keyword parameters, then all format specifiers should have keyword parameters. You cannot have a combination of keyword and positional. While %d is positional because we have not specified any mapping value key over here. So it's positional, whereas this is a keyword argument. So you cannot have combination of both of them. So this is something which is restricted. Now let's jump over here. So what I'll do is I'll remove this and we'll directly jump to this particular line. What I should have done is I should have stopped the debugger and then proceeded. Okay, let's try and debug it once again. So we're at line number 123 now. Let's start with the debugger. Some IP address. So name is Rohit. So I say %s name. Now you may be wondering, why did I put this pipe symbol? The reason for that is I'm going to explore and explain you some very important format specifier. Now this is width specifier. It's minimum width specifier. That means for the value of this name to be displayed, we plan to give at least 10 column widths. So when I say %10s, that means total width that we plan to allocate for Rohit. Rohit requires only 5 column width. The total width that we plan to allocate for Rohit is 10 columns. So that's the reason we saying %10s. So let's proceed further. Here we go. Percentage Rohit, if I say, so Rohit has taken up 5 column width for it to be displayed. But when I say %10s, that means this Rohit will now get displayed in 10 columns. Rohit requires 5. So the question is, which side the spaces will be left? So if you look at this, it has left spaces on the left hand side. So it has said space 5 spaces and then Rohit. That means the width that was allocated for this particular parameter's value to be displayed was total 10 columns. If I say %3s, now Rohit requires 5 columns and you are only giving 3 columns. It's minimum field width specifier. So it's not maximum, it's minimum field width specifier. That means the width that you have specified, if it is less than what is required for the output, it should not have any meaning. Let's cross check. So dekho, Rohit has got displayed just like what had got displayed in the previous statement, for the previous to previous statement. That means what %s displayed, %3s has also displayed in the same fashion. So what does it indicate? This 3 or 10, the number that we have put between % and s, it is acting as minimum field width specifier. That's for sure. Minimum width. It is not maximum width. It's not Rohit makes say ROH, HIT, 3 characters print karega. That's not something that will happen. It's minimum width, minimum how many columns of width that you would like to allocate. Now to see its impact, suppose I have a Chinese friend called as Zhu, and now its name, if I say %3s, you will find this has taken 3 column width. यानी pipe के अंदर यहाँ एक column है, फिर X और फिर U है, that has got displayed. Same thing could have been used with integers as well. So I have a number whose value is 99. I say %d, that number 99 has got displayed. If I say 5d, that means in that case, 5 column width will be allocated for that particular number. Number is 2 columns, 99. But 5 columns will be allocated. But look at this. So by default, the justification is right. 3 spaces have been left on the left hand side, 1, 2, and 3. 3 spaces, and then 99 has got displayed. But if I say hash, hash was meant for displaying the sign. So if I say X means hexadecimal. So we want a hexadecimal equivalent of 99. And when I say hash, that means I want hexadecimal representation with a base, and 5 is total width. So now we have used it in combination. So 99 का hexadecimal representation क्या है? तो 0x फिर 63. तो ये 4 कॉलम हो गए और यहाँ एक कॉलम blank छोड़ दिया है. So we can use them in combination as well. Suppose you have a math.py and the precision has got displayed. It's quite a lengthy, means quite a precision that has now correctly got displayed over here. You want to control it, that can be done. If I say %f math.py, so %x stands for fixed format. So here it will round up the value up to 6 digit precision, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So ये 9-3 था, 9-2-6 था, so that has become 9-3. So it has rounded up the value up to 6 digit precision. But we can use them in combination. F is a conversion specifier for floating point value, and 10 over here is the minimum width. So 10 minimum width है, यानी this output that was displayed will now get displayed totally in 10 column width. Let's check it out. तो ये 10 कॉलम में कैसे है? तो ये 6 फिर डॉट का 7 और ये 8, यानी 2 कॉलम यहाँ स्पेस है 1 and 2. ये 10 में टोटल में 2 spaces, and then the 6 precision, then dot and 3. So total column width that was allocated for that value was 10 column. And how did that happen? Here we are using. The width specifier can be used with floating point value, can be with integers, can be used with string, but that's minimum field width specifier. So it specifies the minimum number of columns that should be allocated for the corresponding argument to be displayed. Likewise, if I have floating point value, and we just saw this floating point value, it's quite a precision that has got displayed. For some reason, you thought of controlling this particular precision. So in that case, if I say %f, by default, it displays the result only up to 6 digit precision. But if I say 0.2f, now here we had said 5d, yeah, 10d, that was width specifier. But if I put point and then I put an integer before the for conversion specifier, in that case, this will decide how many digit precision you would like to have. Number of digits after decimal. So 2 digit after decimal. I say 0 digit after decimal. Watch it. 0 digit after decimal. I say 4 digit after decimal. Watch it. 4 digit after decimal. We can control the precision. Suppose I had some real number 1.6789. There was some number that I have. and I say 2f, so 1.68. So 67 has been rounded up to 68. And then say 0.0f, that means I do not want any digits after the decimal point. So it now becomes 2. 1.68 has been rounded up to 2 precision. Now coming back to our pi ka value. We had seen this pi ka value math.py, pi, and that was the value of pi. Rather, this was the actual value of pi. Now, if I say %f, it will display the result up to 6-digit precision. If I say 10f, so 10 is width specifier. That means that pi ka value up to 6-digit precision has got displayed in 10 column width mein print hua hai. But if I say 0.2f, now 10 stands for minimum field width specifier, whereas 0.2 stands for precision specifier. So watch precision specifier 3.14. I can use both of them in combination. That means 10 is the width specifier and 0.2 is the precision specifier. Both of them have been used in combination. So you'll have total column width as 10 and precision as 2. Watch it. Total column width as 10, whereas precision for that floating point value is only 2-digit precision after the decimal point. So we are controlling. Sometimes it so happens this number is quite large. Can somebody read this number for me? What is this number? Ashish, ये number क्या है बताइए? Now it's difficult to read for anybody because there are too many zeros. And जब तक ऐसा count नहीं करोगे ना, unit, 10, 100, 1000, तब तक
120 crore.
Okay, it's very difficult for anybody to guess it right. Most of the time you will go ahead wrong. So if you have numbers with a lot of zeros, it is just not recommended to display them as it is or to display them with %f. Because if I display %f 6-digit decimal, पहले ये zeros कम थे कि आपने और 6-digit decimal after decimal point print कर रहे हो, तो capital F कहा या small f कहा, there is no difference. Look at this, %capital F and %small f, both of them have yielded the same result. दोनों जगह एक ही result आ चुका है. So there is not much of a difference in either case. But when I say %e, now that's for exponential format with 6-digit precision. That means 10 to the power something it will display. So it says 1.2 into 10 to the power 11. Now there is very little chance that you can go wrong while you're reading this value. But 1.2 after decimal point, अगर कोई zero है तो उसका कोई मतलब ही नहीं होता है. But then with E, it will always display the number with 6-digit precision, and E stands for 10 to the power. That means 1 point so and so into 10 to the power 11. अगर मैं E capital देता, that this E which is standing for exponential will now get displayed in uppercase. But better would be G. So G, what we'll do is, now in this number, the significant digits after decimal एक ही है, वो 2 है. 0, 0, 0 up to 6 digits. These are all insignificant digits after decimal. So these insignificant digits after decimal will be totally eliminated. Look at this, 1.2 E plus 11. That means 1.2 into 10 to the power 11. If I use capital G, this E which I had displayed over here will now get displayed in capital letters. Look at this. If I have a real number 3.4, that doesn't have too many zeros. If I say %f up to 6-digit precision, if I say %e, it says 3.4 E plus 00. That means 3.4 into 10 to the power 0. Or if I say G, okay, now G is ensuring that only significant digits after decimal has got displayed. But then into 10 to the power has not got displayed. The result is G, capital G or small g, whichever is a shorter format, be it fixed format like %f, or be it exponential format with fixed digits, with significant digits after decimal, whichever is the shorter one, that is what will get displayed using %g. So %g will display exponential, will display floating point value in the shortest format possible. Either it could be fixed format or it could be the exponential format, whichever is a shorter version that will display. Now look at this. Now there are too many zeros. Now while I have too many zeros, if I say %e, exponential format 1.23 into 10 to the power 11. If I say 0.2, that means I have controlled the number of digits. If I say 0.4, so यहाँ भी आ गया after digits 4 decimal into 10 to the power 11. So we can always control the precision at any point of time, even for numbers that have been displayed in exponential format. Now I have a character and I want to display character as a character. I'll say %c. So I'm saying %c mod ch. Ch has a value a. So this a will get displayed as a character or a string. So a has got displayed. So I say %c q. So q will get displayed as a character. I say %c 224. So whatever is a character corresponding to value 224, whose code point is 224, the corresponding character will get displayed. ये देखो a with accented value that has got displayed. If I say 1108, what is the character corresponding 110? That's the symbol for euro or whatever it is. I say 2309, it is displaying a. I say 8486, it's saying omega. So you could display in any number omega. Here I pass the decimal format, and here I'm passing hexadecimal format. It's one and the same value. Now we say 0083, and that's pound. I say 136.67, and I'm saying %C. Now %C, and you're giving a floating point value. The moment you do that, it generates an error because %C requires either int or char. You cannot have floating point values being displayed over here. So there was an error at this particular line. So let's stop the debugger and go back where I had added the breakpoint, and we'll again jump back to the same statement over here. Okay, and let's see what happens. We are here. I say %C and I pass UML string, not a single character, but we are passing a string. The moment you do that, it again generates an error. And for this UML, because %C stands for character. Character means single character. That means, like over here, I had passed only single character. Here I'm passing the code of the single character, while this was for alpha, or omega, whatever it is, and these were for and whatever the characters were there. So %C is meant for single character, %S is meant for string. So I have a value whose variable called as value, whose value is 65. So I have variable values, value 65. I say %C val, so it will display character corresponding to 65, and character corresponding to 65 is A. So when although this val is integer, its value has got displayed as a character. %C आपने कहा है. If I say %D val, it will get displayed as an integer, that is 65. So value 65 would like to display in decimal format, says %D. You want to display corresponding character, say %C. I say value is equal to R. Now we're going to do different. If I say %C, I got to CR. If I say %D, it generates an error. So it says %D format, a real number is required, not a string. So when I'm using numeric formats for %D, I cannot go ahead using a character or a string. That would generate an error. So let's comment out this particular line and jump start from here and debug the code once again. So we debug the code once again, and we require some IP address. So that's what we had discussed yesterday, and we are here. So I could always say ORD of val. So R का जो code है, that will get displayed as in decimal format. So 82 is the code. If I have a number that is -44, so if I display -44 as %D, it correctly get displayed. But if I have +44, and if I want to display +44, nothing, only 44 has been displayed. Sign are not displayed by default. So if you want the sign to be displayed, add plus. A lot of time people get confused. उनके कहते plus यहाँ लिखा है इसलिए plus display होता है. No, this is a flag to specify sign. If the number is positive, display plus. If the number is negative, display minus. Watch it. So here, now it will display +44. If number value is -44, even then I'm going to say +D. The moment you say +D, it will display -44. That means this plus was acting as, or anything that is being placed between %sign and the format code acts as this special specifiers. So this plus acts as a sign specifier. Okay, modifier to it's a modifier to specify sign. So what is the number -44 +44 sign correctly get displayed. I have number 43. If I go on to display this number 43 in 5 column width, ये आ गया 5 column width में. अगर मैंने 0 कहा तो ये जो blank column से या 3 blank spaces है 5 column की width में, तो that will get padded with 0. देखो यार 3043. मैंने कहा import करो math 10.2f में math.py की वैल्यू प्रिंट करो. Here we go. We will say math.py की वैल्यू width total चाहिए 10, precision चाहिए 2, and blank spaces should be padded with 0. So 3 चीजें हमने एक साथ यूज किया. तो precision चाहिए 2, total width चाहिए 10, and blank spaces have been padded with 0. That's what we have done. So that was it. Suppose if I have 43 again, and I say 5D, so 43 got displayed in 5 column. I say 0 5D, the blank spaces have been padded. I say -5D. Now what change would this -5D make? So -5D is not meant for displaying the number in negative format. ये देखिएगा, in the total width that is available, the number is right justified. Moment you say minus, the number becomes left justified. यानी यहाँ जो left side को blank spaces है, the blank spaces will now be left onto the right hand side. So let's jump onto this particular code and see. तो देखिएगा ये नंबर जो पहले right justified था, अब नंबर left justify हो गया है. पहले spaces were on the left hand side, now the spaces are on the right hand side. So this minus sign placed between the person sign and the integer before the conversion specifier controls the justification. The left justification key. By default, values are right justified, and moment you said minus 5d, it becomes right justified. But if I say minus 0 5d, now the question is where is the sign displayed? Okay, so sign to hai nahi, minus is left justification, तो ये left में आ गया. But blank spaces will not get padded with 0 because 43 के अगर 0 आ जाए, they will be significant. So zeros will not get it on the right; they will always get added on the left hand side. I have a string called as Raj, and if I say %10s, so Raj has got displayed. If I say %-10s, so with total 10 ही रहेगा, but Raj will get displayed to the left hand side. Look at this, Raj has got displayed to the left hand side. Now another few important things. If I say %d, -10, 10, both the values will get displayed -10 and 10. So -10 and 10. But note, although -10 and 10 has got displayed, there is no gap between. Somebody will read it as -1010. So we don't want that thing to happen. So I say %, यहाँ एक space डाला है फिर d, फिर %, यहाँ एक space डाला है और फिर d. Let's see what will happen in that case. So one space has got displayed. Now, if I add 3 spaces before this d, and if I add 3 spaces before the d, and then again I display, what would the result be in this case? क्या print करेगा? I have added 3 spaces between person sign and d. Yes. Guess करो.
दोनों के बीच में 3 space.
ऐसा कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. आप कितने भी spaces डालो, even if a single space or multiple spaces, the result still remains the same. ये जो पहले था result वैसे रहेगा. Now look at this. Here I say %d space and %d. That's another way to do it. That could also. Now here between this %d, I have given multiple spaces. So those multiple spaces will come into action. The difference is between the person sign and the conversion specifier. If I leave any space, any number of spaces, one space will be left between the parameters. Between the format specifier, whatever number of spaces you leave, या एक लिखा है या 4 रखा है, तो accordingly that many number of spaces will be left. But if you want just one space to be left, % and conversion specifier के बीच में एक space डाल दो, you'll make sure only one and one space gets displayed between multiple parameters. Now, here we again have a record. That's a dictionary. Occupation is chef. Name is Mohan. Income itna hai Mohan ka. So let's proceed further. So we have created this, and the dictionary is ready. I say I'm using mapping, the key. I say name is person occupation earning rupees income -10.0f record. So when I use the mapping key, I should always have a dictionary as a parameter. So in this record, wherever is the name, its value Mohan will get displayed over here. What is the occupation? Its value chef will get displayed over here. Whatever is the income, its value will get displayed over here. But कैसे display होगा? -10.0f. That means total column 10, left justified रहेगा, and single digit precision तक print. No digits precision. It will round up the value and display. So watch it. Mohan is a chef earning rupees 40,000. Round up करके value has got displayed. I could say income -13 to, तो -13 कहूँगा, total with 10, 13, left justified रहेगा. Okay, left justified without sign. आ गया rupees so and so left justified without sign. Now I say person 13.2f. अरे माइनस नहीं लिखा, तो it will be right justified. तो ये देखो आउटपुट राइट चला गया. तो ये 13 column width में आउटपुट इज ऑन द राइट हैंड साइड. यहाँ भी 13 column width है, बट द आउटपुट इज ऑन द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड. ये देखिए टोटल width यहाँ तक है, output is on the left hand side. Why was it left hand side? Because you said minus. Plus sign specifies sign, minus sign controls the justification. Left justification चाहिए या right justification चाहिए. Similarly, if I have a number like 78 point something something, if I have a number 78.8975, and I say my percentage score is %.2 f. Now when I say %.2 f, that means I would like to round up the value up to 2-digit precision. So 789 will become 90. Round up करोगे तो. And I say % grade point. So although I'm saying % grade point, if I run this particular code, let's see what is the result that gets displayed. it says 75.90% grade point. But this is a risky kind of affair to use percent alone. So anytime you want to display the percent sign, इसके आगे जो value है, that may create a problem. So never put percent sign once, put it 2 times, because 2% stands for a single percent. To be on the safer side, this is how you'll do it. That will never give you any surprises. So 2% will display a single percent for us. So suppose I ask the user to enter the input, that is the number. Then I ask the user to enter the width. So we can runtime decide how much width and I enter the number. Suppose my number is 55. And the next question that I'm asking is enter the width. So suppose I use the width as 10. I use the width, and here I'm saying, ये देखिए कैसे print हुआ है, 10 column width में right side को 55 print हुआ है. How did that happen? I say percent star D. Now when I use the word star D, the width जो है that gets substituted with the star. Width क्या है आपका 10. So it becomes percent 10D. So this is a mechanism through which we can specify the width specifier at runtime. तो runtime substitution करें आप, ये width की value जहाँ आपने यहाँ star डाला है वहाँ substitute होगा, that is 10, and D is a placeholder for this num. तो num मतलब आपने जो number 55 enter किया है, तो that was percent 10D. तो width was 10 and number was what should be displayed by in percent D. So runtime also you can decide the width and the precision, all those things can be decided. So let me just show you for width and precision both. I ask user to enter a real number. User enters a real number, suppose as 3.12345, what it is. I say how much digit precision you would like to have. मैंने कहा भाई मुझे 2 ही digit precision चाहिए या 3 digit precision चाहिए. That is 3.123. Yeah. So I say what should be the precision? Oh, अच्छा how much? और गलत हो गया, width 3 कहा मैंने गलती से. तो let's stop over here and jump start again. I did not read the statement correctly. Here you go. And now we have been asked to enter the number. Where are we? Here. Enter a real number. A number का पूछा गया है. यहाँ enter the number है. Enter the number है. तो let me just cover it up. 44 है. Width कितना चाहिए था? मैंने कहा 8 column width चाहिए. So everything has been displayed. क्या हुआ error यहाँ? Oh, it has been displayed. Okay, let's do it. So enter the real number. We have been asked to enter the real number. So I enter the real number. Say I enter the real number as 12.345678 That's the number that I've entered. How much width you would like to have? मैंने कहा इसकी total width मुझे चाहिए 10 column. And then we are asking how much precision you would like to have. मुझे precision सिर्फ 2 ही digit का precision चाहिए. I say only 2 digit precision is what I would like to have. So what do? I say value is equal to %0. That's what add in the blank spaces. Star dot star. So width as 10 will get substituted over here. So it will be 10. Point. Precision will get substituted over here. And then the number for F. So we are doing runtime substitution. So runtime we are specifying what is the weight, what is the precision, everything. So look at this. Total column width 10 है. 0 डाला था इसलिए blank space has been padded with 0. And the precision हमने 2 digit कहा था तो 2 digit after decimal point that has got displayed. Suppose I print the value of gold, so that gets printed. Then the copper and then the silver. All these values have got displayed one after another. So what I'll do is I'll just comment out this statement for a moment, and I'll jump to this particular statement for you. I want these values to be displayed at one go. So I'll just run the code once again. There you go. Now, watch this output that I've got displayed, gold and so and so. So gold, copper, silver, total. अभी गोल्ड का ये प्राइस था, कॉपर का ये प्राइस था, सिल्वर का ये प्राइस था, और चारों का प्राइस मिला के ये टोटल है. Now, if I want ask you to cross check this total, it will be a nightmare kind of situation for you to do this total. क्यों? Because आपको इस 5 को किसके साथ ऐड करना है? किसी के साथ नहीं. फिर इस 4 को आपको इस 4 के साथ ऐड करना है. 5 + 4 9 होगा. सॉरी, ये 4 कॉलम है, ये भी 4 कॉलम है. तो इट बिकम्स एक्चुअली वेरी डिफिकल्ट. ये 5 और 5 9 हो जाएगा. ये 4 और 4 8 हो जाएगा, फिर 8 और 2 प्लस ये 8 के साथ 4 के साथ ये 2 plus 8. Oh, it's so very difficult to do this total. That's because the decimal point is not aligned. So we really want to handle this situation carefully. So if you go to a restaurant and these are the various items that your restaurant shop, and these are the various items that you purchase, and you are going to verify आपका ये total सही है नहीं है. अगर आप दुकानदार हो, आपकी नियत खराब है, तो this is how you should display the result. So the customer will never be in a position to understand what exactly the total is. कोई cross check ही नहीं कर पाएगा. But if you really want to be professional, you'll have to make sure all the decimal points are just one below other. So how do you do that? Watch it. So here we go. I say print blank line. I say line dash star 21. तो ये 21 का एक line यहाँ print हुआ है. Again, I print this particular line. Okay, I'll print it again and show you. And I construct a saying name minus 7s. That's for this gold, copper, silver. माइनस लिखा है, लेफ्ट जस्टिफाइड रहेगा. 7 उसका विड्थ है, कॉपर का 6 है, तो मैंने एक ज्यादा लिया है विड्थ. इज इक्वल टू परसेंट प्राइस 10.2f. तो ये नेम और प्राइस है. प्राइस के लिए हमने कहा है 10.2f. दैट मींस ओनली 2 डिजिट्स आफ्टर द डेसिमल पॉइंट. टोटल विड्थ इज 10. नाउ इफ आई हैव दिस, द वे इट विल गेट डिस्प्लेड, वॉच इट. ये पहला, ये दूसरा, ये तीसरा, और फिर नीचे टोटल. यू मे नॉट रियली अप्रिशिएट राइट नाउ व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, but you will definitely do appreciate once I jump to this particular statement directly. So let's see how the output get displayed. I'm going to jump to that particular statement directly. Here we are. Now look at this bill that has got displayed. It's the perfect format of printing the bill. How? We have said over here, here we are. We have said percent 10.2f. तो इसके total width 10 है. Precision is 2 columns after decimal point. So all the decimal points one below that. अब टोटल करने जाओगे 8 plus 2 plus 8, 7 plus 3 plus 3, 6 plus 6 plus 6, and whatever the carry forward जो था. Now it is possible. तो अगर बिल प्रिंट भी करना है, तो it was necessary that you do the formatting right. तो हमने ये फॉर्मेट स्ट्रिंग लिया, और रिकॉर्ड में तो आपके वैल्यूज है ही. ओके, वन आफ्टर अनदर द वैल्यूज फॉर रिकॉर्ड इन अ प्रोडक्ट. प्रोडक्ट आपकी डिक्शनरी है. डिक्शनरी में से आपने नेम और प्राइस को फॉर्मेटेड स्टाइल में प्रिंट करा. दिस इज हाउ यू प्रिंट द बिल. Suppose I thought of sending this bill to the file. So that's also possible. I can open a file saying d:/temp.report.txt. Open karo file in write mode. And same thing, print line to my file. And then I say bill, that also goes to my file. Then I say line, that also goes to my file. यानी ऊपर का तीन lines आ गया. And then I'm saying total price equal to 0. अब ये दोबारा जो आपने स्क्रीन पे प्रिंट किया था, whatever we have printed on the screen, now instead of displaying on the screen, we'll just make sure that it goes to the file. Watch it now. एक record, दो record, I'll directly jump over here. Or that's the last thing. So we'll just run this program directly to see the behavior. And we'll see whether a file called as report.txt has been created on D drive. So we run this particular code. Forget. So here the bill has got displayed onto the console, but at the same time, there is a file that has got created on the disk d:/temp में एक report.txt नाम की file है. So let's open up that file. d:/temp में there is a file called as a report that has got created. Watch it. यानी आपने रिपोर्ट भी जनरेट किया जिसे आप प्रिंट करके कस्टमर को भी दे सकते हो. So this entire bill was transferred to the file. You could just print this bill from this file notepad and it will correctly get printed. How did that happen? Because we had redirected the output to a file. File is equal to my file. By default file is std out. So instead of that we have said my sys.stdout is the by default, that is console. Instead we have transferred all this output of all these statements to a file on the disk. So this output has gone to the disk. D column पे जा चुका है. That's how we could do the formatting. So that was brief about how to do formatting. Any questions, if anybody has, please ask. I'm sharing this file with all of you. किसी को कोई question है क्या इसमें, whatever we have seen today? So that was how we do formatting in Python by using interpolation operator, that is mod. I'm sharing this file. Let me know if you have received this file. Chat का चला गया, chat. I think I had already shared this file yesterday, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
दोबारा एक बार share कर रहा हूँ. Open up that file and see if there is any query, any doubt, anything, anybody. Open up the file. कहीं किसी लाइन पे डाउट है तो पूछेगा. Anybody, any questions? Just go through that file. That is just one way of formatting. We have to now look at other ways of formatting which are far more easier as compared to what we are seeing over here. But this was the earliest style of formatting which is inspired from C language that was available. But now we have even simpler way of formatting. I'm going to discuss the latest style of formatting as well, but I have promised you I'll discuss all the style of formatting. Anybody has a question? Quick feedback.
Sir, as I was not there yesterday, I need to go through all the code. But whatever you have teach today, I have understood.
Whatever I had taught today. Okay, it's half of the things I have. No, I actually yesterday we had discussed only 30%, and rest 70% we have discussed today because it's 300 lines code that we have seen. कल हमने 94 लाइन तक कवर किया था, बाकी लाइंस आज कवर किया.
Okay.
Harsh says, is it possible to justify in the center? It's not. नहीं, कौन कह रहा है? मोनिका है क्या? Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's not possible for you to justify in center by using modulus operator, but Python does allow you that feature, and that feature I'm going to discuss. But the earliest version of Python did not allow center justification. It was left or right. But today's version of Python allows you all the justification, left, right, center, सब कुछ possible है. But that's in the latest version of Python, 3.6 onwards. No, even 3.3 started doing that. I'll show you how it can be done. But with interpolation operator, that is not possible, I think. No, it's not. Older version did not allow center justification.
Okay, sir.
Any other question? Okay, so let's jump on to the other way of formatting. For that, let me open up the presentation. So for a very long time, interpolation operator was the only style of formatting which was available in Python. With version 3, newer and newer techniques were suggested, and they became also very popular. And today with Python 3.7, 3.6, I think, the latest style of formatting which has been supplied is not just easy, it's also very fast. And you can see the difference if I clock the time it takes to format the data. So it is substantial improvement in the speed in which the formatting is being done. So newer version provides you better control and better speed as well. So let's explore the second style of formatting. End results, what we're going to achieve is the same. The technique to do it will be different. So what we did earlier, similar thing. So I'll not take that many number of examples, but I'll just show you how to use this particular construct. So the second style is the new style, as I call it as new style of string formatting. This new style of string formatting was introduced in C in Python. I think it was Python 3.0. So Python 3.0 introduced a new way to do string formatting that was also later backported to 2.7. Now that's very interesting. Normally what happens is new features are introduced in new language, new version. But this feature became so popular, it was backported to 2.7. That means 2.7 के बाद 8 आ गया, 9 आ गया, then 3 came in. But this version 2.7 was another very widely used version of Python. That means ये Python 3 तो अभी हम लोग use कर रहे हैं. One of the older before 3.0 के इसमें 2.7 was the most widely used version. It could probably happen that when you land up into industry, you will still end up working on a project which probably may be using 2.7. There are slight differences which you can very easily figure out how things are done, especially printf doesn't have brackets and small things. But this feature of formatting became so popular that it was added to the older version. Isn't it? It's something very different. Normally we see new features coming in new version. This feature was backported to 2.7. That means 2.7 also later started supporting this particular feature. So backported. New style string formatting gets rid of interpolation operator, special syntax, and makes use of syntax for string formatting more regular. Now, what exactly do you mean by more regular? It actually makes it more easier as well. Okay, what does it do? It calls a function called as format. You have to put the item and just specify the format specifier. But then for every item, you have to call this method format. It is easier to read, that's for sure. But then it's too very lengthy to write because for every parameter, every argument whose value is to be displayed, you'll have to call this function format, the argument, and the format specifier. But then reading is very easy, but writing is difficult. Let me say format. That means this number item has to be formatted using this format specifier. This value has to be formatted in this style. This value has to be formatted in this style. This value has to be formatted in this style. So 10 stands for width specifier. 0.2 stands for precision specifier. So for all these 4 values, which are different, the format is exactly the same, 10.2f. That means all the decimal points will end up one below other. Why? Because you are having only 2 digits after decimal point everywhere. So third digit पे तो आपका decimal point रहेगा, and then total width आपका 10 column ही रहेगा. So look at this. तो 57 point ये आपका number print हुआ है. While 10 is minimum field width specifier, this number is greater than 10. So minimum field width है, वो maximum field width नहीं है, minimum field width है. इसका मतलब है, if the width that you have allocated 10 is not sufficient to display that result, it will not give any consideration to the width specifier. You remember that 5 and 3 example that I had taken, and 57.40, 57.00, all them have correctly got displayed because 57 required only 2 columns, 5 columns. Why 5 columns? 2f है ना, तो 57.00, तो total 5 columns. This also required 5 columns and this also required 5 columns. तो यहाँ हर जगह 5 space और 5 column में. Whereas this number itself 92 2 digit print हो जाएगा, but 10 column में ये number नहीं print होने, 8.92 नहीं print होने, because 8 that is 8 digit, 9 10 11 digit चाहिए और आपने 10.2f का है, so that will not get displayed. So 10 is the width specifier, 2 is the precision specifier, and f is the conversion specifier, and total मिला के आपका ये format specifier. So format specifier क्या था? 10.2f. How do you call? You call this method format and give the specification. Okay. So if I say 10.2e, that's exponential, but exponential displays up to 6 digit precision by default. तो हमने उसे 2 digit precision का हर जगह. तो in that case, same value has got displayed up to 2 digit precision, 0.75, 0.39, 0.75, 74, point this. यहाँ ये कहता है 3.39 e into 10 raised to minus 3. ये ना 10 raised to minus 3. 0.00 10 raised to minus 3. और हर जगह 10 raised to plus 3. और total column width कितना है? तो 10 है. ये कैसे print हो रहा है? तो ये 10.2 e, that means 2 digits after decimal, and number के left hand side पे it is handling 2 digits after decimal चाहिए, 57 में 2 digits after decimal चाहिए, तो 5.74 हो गया है या 75 हो गया है. It has handled this correctly. Now, talking about alignment, Monica was asking about alignment. Now you have left aligned, center aligned, right aligned, and a sign spaces in between. I'll just show you with the help of these examples. And there is another style of formatting called string.format that we'll see later. Let's first explore the format method. Here we go. Quickly we'll do it. Or किसी को कुछ doubt है तो immediately you can ask. I have a number that is 65,535. Okay, that's a number that we have. Here we go. So we have a number called 65,535. I say %d num. Oh, %d stands for decimal. That means value of number has been to be displayed in decimal format. Again, decimal format is 65,535. The same thing I could have done. This is how you do it with interpolation operator. And with format method, I'll say format num d. That means num is the item which has to display it, and no % sign now, which has to display in decimal format. ये मेरा conversion specifier है. I'll not say %. I'll only specify the exactly the same result. अब मैंने कहा this also returns you formatted data. तो वही result मैंने variable में store कर लिया, ये formatted output में, and then I print that value. It's the same result that has got printed. Just that over here, colon के बाद आपने तुरंत display किया without a space and so on. Now I say hex %#x. Oh, that's interpolation operator. We had seen that. That means the value of number will get substituted over here, but it will be formatted to hexadecimal format. Hash will ensure that base is automatically displayed. Hexadecimal है तो 0x, octal है तो 0b, 0o, decimal है तो कुछ नहीं. तो ये hexadecimal में है, तो base will get displayed. Watch it. OX FFFFF. That's 65,535. Same thing if I had to do it over here in hex, in using format with I'll say number and #x. Only thing that I'll get rid of is % sign, and you'll get exactly the same result. If I had to display an octal with base, I say %#o. Same thing, I'll say format num #o. I'm intentionally writing both the style. So those who are absent yesterday, you can see this, what we had done. And आज हम वही काम इस तरीके से कर रहे हैं. What we did yesterday, we are doing it in the same fashion. Now, we said earlier, binary is not possible, %b. So if I try and say %b, it generates an error. So it has generated error for %b since it is not available. But now in format method, I try and use %b. Although it is not there as %b, in the format method, if I try and use it, let's see whether it is supported. Here we go. We are at line number 25, and that number got displayed in binary format. So %b as a conversion specifier is not available with interpolation operator, but with format method, we can definitely use b to display the number in binary format. तो number आपका 65,535 है, ये उसका hex representation है, ये उसका octal representation है, while this is the binary representation of that number 65,535. If I have 15, I display in binary. Perfect, no worries. ये 15 है 1111. If I 10 1010. ये देखिए 0b 10. Now how did 0b got displayed? Oh, because I have said hash. Hash is modifier to specify base. So whenever hash appears before the conversion specifier, okay, it will always display the base. So yeah, base again 0b. So never display the result in this fashion. Somebody may feel it is 1111. Or it was number 15. So how do I ensure that? Hash. So if I say number 55 hash b, so it will display along with base 0b 110111. I have number 2000. I go ahead displaying this number 2000 in hexadecimal format. It's 7d0. But since I have said hash, it's 0x7d0. 0x7d0. Same thing I could do with saying format num #x. It will display the same result. Like octal का भी वैसे ही. It is displayed. Binary भी आ गया #b. So while this was hexadecimal, this was octal, this is binary. Format num #o, format num #b, and so on. I have roll number 9, name is Sujay. And then I say roll number %, name %, name comma roll number, or roll number comma name. So roll number will be substituted over here, and name will be substituted over here, %s की जगह, %s. So these are conversion specifiers. आ गया roll number 9, name Sujay. Now I could say format roll number d, name, format s name s. The point is, too many times you'll have to use the word format. That's the only difficulty that we face over here. Otherwise, reading is very easy. Now here I say printf format -10 plus. Oh, plus means specify sign. Minus to anyway get displayed, so no worries, -10. But 10 number would have got displayed only as 10. But when I say plus, it's a modifier to specify a sign. तो आ गया. तो यहाँ plus का है, यहाँ भी plus का है. That does not mean every time plus is to be displayed. Even the number is positive, then plus sign will get displayed. If number is negative, negative will get displayed. So plus does not mean display plus. Plus means display sign, positive or negative, whichever it is. Likewise, I say -10% D. That means plus D. That means decimal format में print करो. अरे वही आ गया. ये आ गया. My +10. Then I say 10D. Oh, 10D is the width specifier now. यानी 55 should display in 10 column width. आ गया. Plus 10D. तो plus 55 आ गया. And 55 plus 10D. 10. Oh, plus 10 and plus 10D is one and the same. But with sign आ रहा है. क्यों? Because आपने यहाँ plus लिखा है. Now, यहाँ लिखा मैंने equal to plus 10D. Now you better understand these notations because in further style, similar kind of notations are to be used. Now, what does equal to mean? What does plus mean? And what does 10 mean? 10 is the width specifier and total column 10 चाहिए. Plus is the sign. यानी positive है तो plus, negative है तो minus. But then question is, what does equal to mean? Okay. So let's run this particular code to understand what does equal to mean. So equal to मतलब the space has been left, justified है equal to मतलब. Yes, sign on the leftmost side, number on the rightmost side, blank spaces have been left in between. Earlier देखो blank space पहले छूट रहा था. अब blank space in between. अगर मैं left justify कर लेता तो blank space right side को छूट जाते थे. But here equal to का मतलब है blank space will get displayed between the sign and the number. इन दोनों के बीच में blank space आ गए. Now अगर इन blank space में आपको 0 से पैड करना है तो मैंने कहा equal to plus 0 10D. तो 10 is the width specifier, 0 is padding with 0, plus is sign and equal to is internal यानी space internally. देखिएगा plus 0 0 0 0 and then 5 5. Now I say star. So equal to plus 10D. So equal to plus 10D plus 10 we know. Equal to plus 10 we know. Now what will the star do? Is it going to be the fill character? So let's check it out. It is a fill character. That means blank spaces need not always be filled with zeros. Blank spaces can be filled with any character that of your choice. A plus number of stars and then 55. I say hash. So you could fill it with any character. So whatever the blank spaces, you could fill with any character. But is it space always in between? No, no, no. So when I say caret, इसका मतलब है the number has to be centrally aligned. तो ये आपका जो word है string hello, percentage मतलब hello है, ये 15 कॉलम में प्रिंट करना है. हेलो के लिए तो चाहिए सिर्फ 5 कॉलम. आपके पास 15 कॉलम है यानी 10 बाकी है. तो 5 on the left hand side, 5 on the right hand side, exactly in the center hello will get displayed. Hash is the fill character. तो देखिए कैसे हो गया. ये 5 स्टार हैश फिर हेलो और 5 हैश सेंटर अलाइन. अगर आप यहाँ हैश नहीं डालोगे या स्टार नहीं डालोगे तो ब्लैंक स्पेस आ जाएंगे. ऐसे ना हैश 15s. अब 15 में दिक्कत है. ओह 15 इज ओके एंड सेम थिंग. तो मेरे पास गुड डे है. अब इश्यू कैसा है, हेलो वाज 5 कॉलम्स, गुड डे कितना है 4 5 6 7 8 है. तो 15 में से 8 निकालोगे तो यू आर लेफ्ट विथ ओनली 7. तो इन दैट केस यू आर लेफ्ट विथ हाउ मच, 8 निकालो तो यू आर लेफ्ट विथ ओनली 7. तो 7 इज नॉट इक्वली डिवाइडेड. तो इन दैट केस एक साइड को ज्यादा स्पेसेस, एक साइड को कम स्पेसेस. वी नीड टू फिगर आउट कौन से साइड कम या कौन से साइड ज्यादा है. तो राइट हैंड साइड को एक स्पेस ज्यादा जाएगा, लेफ्ट हैंड साइड को एक स्पेस कम है. तो इट्स नॉट एग्जैक्टली इन द सेंटर. तो 3 स्पेसेस और 3 स्पेसेस गुड डे एंड देन 4 स्पेसेस. टोटल कॉलम इज 15. इफ आई यूज लेस देन, दैट मीन्स लेफ्ट जस्टिफाइड. ये देखो हेलो ऑन द राइट लेफ्ट हैंड साइड एंड ब्लैंक स्पेस ऑन द राइट हैंड साइड पैडेड विथ हैश. इफ आई से ग्रेटर देन, अरे जैसा साइन दिखा रहा है वैसे जस्टिफिकेशन रहेगा. अब ये राइट हैंड साइड को चला गया, ब्लैंक स्पेसेस पैडेड विथ हैश ऑन द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड. अब नंबर मेरा 55 है एंड आई से फॉर्मेट नम हैश पैडिंग के लिए इक्वल टू इंटरनल स्पेस प्लस साइन 10 विड्थ. तो देखिएगा ये प्लस और ये 55 और बीच में जो स्पेसेस है दे आर गेट पैडेड विद हैश. अगर नंबर -55 होता सेम थिंग वुड हैपन. द ओनली थिंग इज माइनस साइन आ जाएगा और रिजल्ट इज सेम. इफ आई से स्टार, ओह सेम थिंग हैश की जगह स्टार आ जाएगा. नाउ हियर आई से कैरेट, कैरेट मतलब सेंटर, सेंटर में नंबर 10 आ जाएगा, नंबर 55 सेंटर में आएगा, प्लस 55 सेंटर में आ गया. तो प्लस 50 मतलब कितने गए, 3 गए, प्लस 5 5 10 है, 10 में से 3 के मतलब 7 है. तो 7 को डिवाइड बाय 2 करोगे तो 3 ऑन द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड एंड 4 ऑन द राइट हैंड साइड. देखिएगा 3 ऑन द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड एंड 4 ऑन द राइट हैंड साइड. अब ये लेफ्ट जस्टिफाई कर लिया, सारे स्टार्स ऑन द राइट हैंड साइड. राइट जस्टिफाई किया, सारे स्टार्स ऑन द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड. तो लाइकवाइज आपने कहा 0.20, आपने कहा परसेंट, परसेंट मतलब मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 100, तो ये आ गया 20% हो गया. 0.2, 0.10 लिखा परसेंट, ओके 10% हो गया. 0.45, 0.2f, दैट मीन्स ये बोलेगा 45% है, बट ओनली डिजिट आफ्टर डेसिमल पॉइंट इज 2 डिजिट्स आफ्टर डेसिमल पॉइंट. वैसे 105.2 लिखा आपने, तो 105.25 लिखोगे तो 10.50 एंड देन परसेंट साइन हैज करेक्टली गॉट डिस्प्लेड. तो 2 डिजिट्स, 0.2, नंबर ऑफ डिजिट्स आफ्टर डेसिमल इज एग्जैक्टली 2. तो जब भी आप ये परसेंट लिखोगे, जो भी नंबर रहेगा दैट विल मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 100. तो आई हैव अ नंबर 10.5 e. E means exponential. 1.5, 6 digits after decimal point into 10 to the power 1. This is also same. The only difference is e is in small case, here e is in uppercase. Of this number, we are displaying e. Too many zeros. That's more readable. 1.0 into 10 to the power 7. This will also display the same thing. But if I say G, that's more appropriate because it will only display significant digits. यानी ये जो 4 जीरो है वो insignificant है, उनको skip करेगा. 1.05 E plus 07. Same thing over here. Now if I have point something, that means into 10 to the power minus value. So 5E minus 05, minus 05. That means 5 into 10 to the power minus 5. Likewise over here, 5E minus 05. That means 5 into 10 to the power minus 5. I have a number, I display it with F. F, both will display the same result. 6 digits after decimal point. 1 और ये 2, 6 digits after decimal point. If I say 10.2F, okay, same thing जो हमने पहले किया था, सिर्फ यहाँ फॉर्मेट मेथड कॉल करेंगे, योर आइटम एंड इट्स फॉर्मेट. वो तरीका है भी अपना डिस्प्ले करने का, आपका आइटम और आपका फॉर्मेट. 10 पॉइंट यानी टोटल विड्थ 10 कॉलम है. 2, दैट मीन्स ये 53 चाहिए सिर्फ, तो 10.53 5 कॉलम, यानी 5 कॉलम की स्पेस छोड़ेगा. ये आ गया 5 कॉलम का स्पेस और 10.53. अब 0, 10.52, दैट मीन्स वही सिर्फ ब्लैंक स्पेस विल गेट पैडेड 0. ये देखिएगा ब्लैंक स्पेस गॉट पैडेड विद 0. नेक्स्ट, last one that we're doing is left justified. Blank spaces to be padded with hash 10.2f. ये आ गया left justified, left justified. Blank spaces padded with hash. So these are 2 different styles of formatting that we have explored. Any questions regarding this? Whatever we have seen till now, I'm quickly sharing this file with you. I know I'm going fast, but it's just the same thing that we had done earlier. So nothing new what we are looking at, just a new style of formatting is what we are exploring. Have a look at the code and let me know if there are any queries. Have a look at the code. और पूछे किसी लाइन पे कोई क्वेरी है तो प्लीज आस्क. Any questions, everybody? Yes, anybody, any question? Have you understood what we have discussed so far? Quick feedback. Kaustubh, Prithviraj. Kaustubh. Kaustubh, are you there? इसलिए मैं कहता हूँ स्क्रीन ऑन रखिएगा ताकि आप ऐसे भाग ना जाए लेक्चर में से.
सर नेटवर्क इशू है.
Okay. Now a small assignment for you. Use whichever style of formatting that you are that we have seen right now, and complete a simple requirement for me. So, what is the requirement? आप ये जो भी हमने डिस्कस किया है उसी का आप इस्तेमाल करोगे और मेरे लिए एक चीज को ही तो कंप्लीट करके दिखाओगे. Now listen, you're gonna accept details of 3 students, their complete name, marks in 3 subjects. Okay, that's what you're going to display. Accept. But while displaying, you're going to display the name, marks in 3 subjects, and the percentage marks in a formatted fashion. मुझे चाहिए वो तीनों स्टूडेंट्स के डिटेल्स फॉर्मेटेड स्टाइल में प्रिंट हो. दैट मीन्स सारे नेम बिलो नेम लेफ्ट जस्टिफाइड, नंबर्स आएंगे तो दे शुड बी राइट जस्टिफाइड विद डेसिमल पॉइंट्स. जो परसेंटेज मार्क्स आएंगे ओनली 2 डिजिट प्रिसीजन तक मुझे उसके परसेंटेज मार्क्स चाहिए. इंटीजर्स है तो मार्क्स आउट ऑफ 100 है, डोंट डू द वैलिडेशन, जस्ट फॉर्मेटिंग कीजिएगा. तो जो मार्क्स है वो मार्क्स आने चाहिए. तो कुछ आउटपुट ऐसे प्रिंट होना चाहिए. जस्ट आई विल शो यू दैट. तो आउटपुट शुड गेट प्रिंटेड समथिंग लाइक दिस. पे अटेंशन. तो इट शुड, ये समझो डैश लाइन से, तो ये डैश लाइन में थोड़ा सा एक्सटेंड कर लेता हूँ, इनफैक्ट डबल कर लेता हूँ. समझो ये आपका डैश लाइन है, ये आना चाहिए मार्कशीट. सपोज मार्कशीट करके ऐसा कुछ आना चाहिए. और मार्कशीट के नीचे क्या होना चाहिए, तो उनके नेम. तो पहला कॉलम चाहिए मुझे नेम. नेम के बाद मुझे चाहिए सब्जेक्ट 1, सब्जेक्ट 2, subject 3, and percentage marks. You could extend this even further. ऐसे. अब जब नेम प्रिंट करोगे तो नेम के लिए जो टोटल बिट थे ना, वो समझो हमारे पास 15 कॉलम की है. सपोज किसी का नाम इज लाइक जैकी चैन, वॉट एवर इट इज. तो ये ऐसा आ गया. उसके सब्जेक्ट्स, फर्स्ट सब्जेक्ट के मार्क्स इज सपोज 67, इस बंदे का मार्क्स इज 77, एंड देन 87, 78, एंड इसका जो भी परसेंटेज आया रहेगा, सपोज इट इज 71.45, वॉट एवर इट इज. सेकेंड स्टूडेंट इज बाल गुरु स्वामी, सपोज, या वेंकट प्रसाद. वेंकट प्रसाद स्वामी है. तो ये कितने कैरेक्टर हो गए? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. तो ये स्वामी है, तो आपको चाहिए कि 15 कॉलम ही आ जाए. तो स्वामी था वेंकट प्रसाद स्वामी, तब ये 15 कॉलम के ऊपर ना जाए. अगर 15 कॉलम पर गया तो इट विल गेट डिस्टर्ब्ड. आई वांट जस्ट 15 कॉलम्स, जहाँ खत्म हो जाए वहाँ कट हो जाना चाहिए. एंड फिर इसके जो भी मार्क्स रहेंगे दे शुड गेट डिस्प्लेड. समझो 55 थे, एंड देन नेक्स्ट वाज 67, एंड नेक्स्ट वाज सपोज 99 और इसका जो परसेंटेज था 84.55, वन बिलो दैट। और थर्ड बंदा है, उसका नाम सपोज लीला बंसल, ये 15 के अंदर है एंड स्कोर 66। ये अलाइनमेंट चाहिए मुझे इस तरीके से, परफेक्ट अलाइनमेंट चाहिए 77, और इसका जो भी परसेंटेज आएगा वो आपको कैलकुलेट करके प्रिंट करना है। एंड वंस यू डू दिस अगेन, यहाँ मुझे लाइन चाहिए। तो ये आपका अभी इमीडिएट असाइनमेंट है। समथिंग लाइक दिस शुड गेट प्रिंटेड। ये बाकी के आगे के लाइंस आप कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं, चाहे तो कितने लाइंस आ रहे हैं यू कुड वेरी वेल कंट्रोल। कुछ इस तरीके से चाहिए, सब्जेक्ट्स परसेंटेज, लुक एट दैट अलाइनमेंट एंड दिस शुड नॉट एक्सीड 15 कॉलम। यानी नाम कितना भी बड़ा एंटर करे यूजर, names are left justified, numbers and everything are right justified. Center में marksheet करके print होना चाहिए. So I'm just saving this particular file for you and I'll share it with all of you right away. और अभी तुरंत आपको ये complete करना है. You want to accept the details and you're going to print. report.txt है. Share the file with all of you. Just check if you have received the file. Okay, and I don't want to do any validation regarding marks out of 100 है क्या, कोई validation मत करो. Currently our focus is only to accept the data. तो एक्सेप्ट करने के बारे में सोचो, कैसे एक्सेप्ट करो, 3 स्टूडेंट्स की डिटेल्स एक्सेस करने, तो किस में स्टोर करो. डेटा स्ट्रक्चर मेरे लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है. व्हाट यू स्टोर, assuming that user is going to enter the right data, how you store and how you format the result and show it to me. That is what is of my concern. So your time starts now. Everybody is going to do it individually. You have 10 minutes to solve this example. Sorry. So 10 minutes to solve. Time starts now. Please start solving this assignment. Everybody. आपके पास टेम्पलेट तो है पुराना आउटपुट, तो take it, accept in the right data structure, show me what are you doing. Please start. So complete the assignment next 2 hours. Submit it today on my personal window. Group में नहीं डालना है. Problem statement I'll share it onto the group. You already have it. But personal window में मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप assignment submit करें, या फिर उसको redirect करके output text file में डाल दे and show me the output of the text file as well. यानी आपका कोड और आपका आउटपुट दोनों चाहिए मुझे. Okay. With that note, we'll stop here. See you next time. Take care. Bye.